Hello, I am Ron Baker. Welcome to Empowered at Last. I'm really excited to be doing my first episode of 2019. Now, for those of you who have been tuning in for quite a while, let me just share with you that the reason I've taken a couple of months away is that I have been working really hard writing and preparing many new surprises, ways for you to get involved, ways for me to be able to help and enhance your lives, totally new in 2019. For those of you who are new to me, Empowered at Last is a podcast and a YouTube channel where I spend time giving clues and hints about you, about the whole self, about all facets of our lives: physical, emotional, mental, sexual, spiritual. This is a place where it is safe to talk about everything. I love when people get involved. By the way, if you're new, please go to ronbaker.net, explore there. Reach out to me if you know some things you would really love some clearer answers about, and I am more than happy to respond in upcoming episodes talking about any specific questions that you put out there. As a matter of fact, I much prefer to know that I'm helping specifically. So, with all of that said, let me give a brief overview that I have been training people in a process of personal transformation, a process of self-value and self-love and self-empowerment for over 25 years now at my School of Mastery in New York City. And I am thrilled that what we have built together, myself, my clients, the practitioners that I've trained to do what I do, what we have created is so dang inspiring to me. Let me stop for a second and tell you that some of my peeps give me a tough time that I say dang. Well, I'm from the South and I'm just going to be myself and keep saying dang. So what I have been doing with all of the people who've gathered, whether it be in workshops, in journeys that we've taken all around the world to sacred sites, or right there at the School of Self-Mastery in New York City. It is so inspiring to see that what we have created is a healthy alternative, a next level of potential, of connection and safety and authenticity and conversation that empowers every single person. It does not matter what level an individual happens to be. In a healthy family, there are people at many different levels. Let's just say we have a family of 4 kids and somebody's in 1st grade, 4th grade, 7th grade, and high school. All the people in that family are of tremendous value, but each one has unique needs. Everybody's needs are equal, but the needs are unique. And so what we have created at this School of Self-Mastery with this soul family that has gathered is have a place where everyone is honored, where people come together helping one another. The ones who are at more developed levels of integration help the ones who haven't yet reached those levels, coming together to learn lessons, to face what our personal challenges happen to be in a space that is nurturing, safe, and encouraging. Those are huge words. I do not throw it out as idealism. I know this is possible because that is exactly what I have been experiencing with all of these people, thousands of people around the world at this point. And I now am moving all that we've been doing in that school out into the world in a bigger way. I've spent the last year doing this new podcast and YouTube channel as an example. Spending a year getting pieces of the puzzle out there to encourage knowing that there's a place for people to plug in. However, ask yourself, do you have a place to put together all of the tools that you've been learning from various sources? So many books out there, so many different thought leaders, so many ways to get clues and hints. But I ask you, do you feel clear how you can tie all of those pieces together into a particular vision, into a particular approach? Do you understand self, who you are authentically, what your potentials actually are? Do you understand what you're moving toward, not only in the outer world, but in deepening and claiming more of yourself? I've taught thousands of people, as I've shared, and most people don't know how to put the pieces together. There's so much available. However, what makes this place unique in some ways is that there is a very clear process. There is a very clear map. A map of what? Your whole authentic self. What your truest potentials are. Now, there's tons of individuality within that. However, every one of us is made up of 3 distinct levels of potential. Just ask yourself if you know what those 3 levels are without me sharing and giving a hint. Most people don't. And most people don't know how to claim more of that in a distinct, practical, logical, step-by-step manner. That is exactly what I am committed to passing on to more and more people around the world. I already know it's possible. Not only do I live it, but I watch my clients and the soul family who have begun to invest in this particular approach. And no matter what studying that they've done, no matter what tools they already love, being able to come together, bring the pieces together in support with other people tends to accelerate the integration, the confidence, the peace, the clarity. I know the world we live in, and it is anything but reliable, clear, supportive of individuals' needs and processes. That is why I have become so, so committed to getting this out there into the world, because with the thousands of people who've already been exploring this and have proved, quite honestly, it's like the proof is in the pudding, that true, powerful, consistent healing is indeed possible, claiming more and more of self, creating a life that gets better and better and better, entirely possible. Because I know that that is so, I want to get this out to as many people as possible. So that's why I took a couple of months off. What in the world do I mean? Well, I want to create a way for those of you who've begun to explore the clues and hints to take a deeper dive. So what have I been doing in the last year? I created a new website, a podcast channel, a YouTube channel. I wrote 2 books. The most recent I'm going to tell you about in a minute. I created 3 courses so that an introduction to what it is that I offer would be prepared as more and more of you began to gather and want deeper, clearer answers, want to feel more peace and more personal fulfillment. And so within all of that, I am creating ways for you to now land and go deeper. My plan at the moment is, instead of doing a weekly podcast and YouTube channel, I'm going to do an every other week release of an episode. That is so that I can put a ton more effort and energy into this new opportunity that I'm going to be announcing in the next month or so. It is going to be a place for you to land and to become directly involved with me and with a community of people. So many people say to me from around the world, I love this, but I'm the only one in my community that I know of who's doing this kind of a journey. I'm the only one in my family who's exploring in this way. I feel in some ways a little bit like an alien. I feel a little alone in the process. I get it. I understand it from my life prior to building what I've become involved in. And so in order to create a way for you to get involved, I'm about to release a whole new chunk on my website that'll give us a place to gather consistently in order to build month by month the layers of this process that enhances lives consistently and powerfully. One other thing that I did during this holiday season was to write another book. When I put my how-to book out to the publisher and editor who are interested in helping me get my work out in the world in this new way, they said, we feel that in order for this to be really effective, you first need to introduce yourself in a much bigger way. And so they encouraged me to write a memoir. And so what I've done is basically take the map of that whole self that I'm talking about. A clear map of the 3 stages of potential that we all hold. And I have literally shared my journey through all 3 stages, starting out with the wounding that got set up in my childhood, which kept me in a sense of survival, a survival consciousness, which I find most people are stuck in. Just ask yourself, are you ruled by any fear, shame, and judgment? Do you have limiting beliefs about what you think is possible for you, what you think you deserve? How comfortable do you feel connecting and sharing yourself? How comfortable do you feel receiving? Do you trust your value as an individual in a deep way? I certainly did not well into my adult years. I did not. And so I talk about my journey from the wounded child self all the way through all 3 levels of integrating the authentic whole self. Does that mean I'm remotely done? No. The great news is that even when we come out to here, there's always more. There's always a next level. However, when we are in these more complete integrated levels, we're clearer about how to go to next levels, feeling safe to go to next levels, to constantly enhance our lives. This is a little bit of what I have planned in this coming year. I've also already got a bunch of opportunities to speak online and at live events. As an example, just after Valentine's Day, I will be coming out on an episode on a podcast called Stay Grounded with Raj Jana. He has a company called Java Press. He was on my podcast just before the end of this last year, and I'm now going to be on his. Other live events, such as speaking on Astrology Hub for their upcoming event in the spring. Also going to speak to entrepreneurs at an event run by Yannick Silver, who is in charge of Maverick 1000, entrepreneurs with visions of wanting to create big change in the world. So all of that is some of the new momentum that has begun for this coming year. Let me close by just saying, if you read on my website, ronbaker.net, the overview of 2018, which was called a year of shakeups in new, unprecedented ways, I can certainly look back at my own life and at the governments and the systems of our world and see that we were in deep levels of shakeup, personally and collectively. If you find that true, then 2019 is being called a year of reckoning. What in the world does that mean? It sounds a little scary. It does not have to be. What it means is that no matter what you are committed to, if you are committed to personal healing and transformation, if you are committed to showing up and learning how to value self, nurture self, love self, and then bringing that out into the world, the manifestations will come quicker and more deeply. However, if your survival system is still running the show, fear, shame, and judgment, your defense and your separation and opposition, if that is running the show, then the manifestations of that are going to get deeper and more immediate. Either way, the planet is shifting so much. I want you to understand what is happening, why it's happening, and how you can work with these unprecedented levels of energetic movement to create more fulfillment than ever. My memoir, the working title anyway, is called So Much More Is Possible. That's what I want you to know. That's what I'm committed to here. So please, get involved. Show up, reach out, let me know what you want me to be talking about moving forward. I cannot wait to make 2019 the best year ever, working with these powerful energies so that my manifestations and my opportunities of reaching out, connecting, and educating much more fully specific ways to become more fulfilled, more trusting, more peaceful, and more empowered becomes your reality. That is my opening to 2019. I thank you for being here, and I look forward to sharing much more. Have a great week.